So I'm going to do the 5 types, but I'm also going to do a reading for the twin flames. So I'm going to do a twin flame card reading, and then the types. So I already did a video on this. So if you're watching this on the replay, just put it on pause and go watch my twin flames and human design video with more information. It's a little 12-minute video. So this is the new spirituality right here. Okay, the new spiritual, and for real it is, right? Because the ego has gotten so out of control on this planet that the grace of God has kind of stepped in. The grace of God in the 60s stepped in with the drugs. That's where the grace of God was, but it was only there until, right, and then it's dissipated in the 70s. Well, the grace of God is coming through our relationships, these relationships. And so this is after 2027. We're going to see more and more and more of these relationships. They're a phenomenon now, but they're rising. I'm getting the major downloads that we're going to see more and more and more of them, right? So the ego's gotten so out of control that the grace of God has come through with these relationships. And basically it's forcing people through these relationships to go through an ego death, right? To realize the self. That's the whole purpose. These are not about romantic, they complete me, codependent relationships or anything but. It's a powerful connection with another person. So maybe you've already met your twin flame. So put it in the comment box. A lot of there's been quite a few people that have emailed me and said, yeah, I'm on the journey, right? And you'll know. So if you're on my fractal line, then your twin flame is out there. It's totally out there. And so what happens is, and they can't avoid one another because you've made a soul contract to meet in the 3D realm in this lifetime. So some teachers have said, like some teachers that I've read about in when was that guy died? I think he died in the 1940s. But he talked about how rare it was to meet your twin flame. And it was dangerous on the spiritual path because people would get fixated on the twin flame and then they would make the twin flame their purpose. And it's like, oh, I just have to unite with my twin flame. And that's not what the twin flame has come in for. It's to come and wake you up, take you out of that forgetfulness, right? And wake you up so that you remember. So this is perfect with the 33, right? So we're going to see more and more of these relationships because the theme for human design, according to human design, is we're moving from that 37.1, which is the tribal relationship. Let's create a family. Let's make babies. Let's compromise our authenticity, right? The bargain, you do this for me, I do this for you. That's all changing, and we're moving into this 55.6. And so these are the deep spiritual connections. The 37.1 is emotional. It's emotional love, right? So if you're, emotions, they're waves, they're fickle. Right? So we don't know what real love is on this planet because it's all conditional. So emotional love is like, sometimes I love you when you do this for me and you bolster up my ego and you look good on my arm, you make me look good, right? And then if you're not doing what I want, right? Then you're the low end of the emotions, then I don't love you anymore, I want a divorce, right? We've been in that kind of paradigm for relationships, completely based in fear, right? So this is changing. We're moving to spiritual love, right? Spiritual love, not emotional love. It will be spiritual love, right? So this is a complete paradigm shift. So the twin flames are kind of on the front line of this new paradigm, right? So what I talked in my video, I'm just going to briefly go through this, is that there's the runner and the chaser, right? So it's one soul and two bodies. So one part of the soul becomes the chaser and the other part of the soul is the runner, is the runner, right? So the chaser is the one that's really in charge of all of this. And so you see teachings out there that's like, the chaser is like, I just need to fix the runner, the one that's running away from this connection. I need to fix them and I'm okay, right? And I'm okay and I just need them. And it looks like the runner's got all the power, right? Well, I'm just waiting for the runner to come back and to get it. And people wait their whole lives, right? They're on their deathbed and they're still waiting for that runner to come back. You have to remember that it's all about self-realization and it's about surrender. It's about surrender, but it's the chaser that's completely in charge of this. The chaser decides even if they want the runner, right? Even if they want to be in a relationship with the runner. But it's all about the chaser realizing themselves, because they're the ones that are more spiritually developed, is the chaser. So imagine the people that are in a twin flame relationship that are watching me, they're chasers if they're watching my channel. I doubt that they'd be runners, right? So the chaser is more of an internal, right? It's more of an internal process, and the runner, it's more of an external process for them. So in terms of ego death, right? Ego death. So this would be the implosion, right? An implosion inside. And then the external is the explosion. And that means that the life starts to fall apart for the runner, right? Life starts to fall apart. And then for the chaser, it's the internal. And the internal life starts to fall apart. The pillars, because it's all about ego. So where people get mixed up here is they think that the runner's going through the same experience as the chaser. No, they have different paths to awakening, right? The chaser is the path is through the emotional body, right? And the runner is through the mental body. So the runner isn't going to experience the emotions, like the power of the emotions that the chaser does. So that's why the runner freaks out with the chaser, because of all of these emotions coming at them. This love, right? This love is coming at them, and it shows the runner how much they don't love themselves, right? That they don't love themselves. So they freak out because what they're feeling is fear, pure fear. So they run away. They run away. So the chaser is interesting because they're in touch with this love, this pure love, this unconditional love of the soul, but it's mixed with fear. It's got a mixture of fear. So pure love and fear, what does that equal? That equals codependency, right? Codependency. And there's the ego pointing at the runner. Well, I just need the runner to come back and then this pain will go away. And then the runner's in fear. I just need to get away from this chaser so I don't feel this fear anymore, right? But ultimately it's just breaking, right? It's breaking these ego, this construct of the ego. So the runner's way more connected to the Maya, and they're way more identified with their mind, like than the chaser. The chaser's more identified with their emotional body. So the chaser is really here to master the emotions, the emotional body, and then the runner is here to master the mind by letting go of old belief systems, right? Of the ego that thinks that it has ultimate control out in the world, right? So how the chaser's in charge, it's really about you as a chaser, about doing this internal work, right? You're doing your internal work, which is to go be with the soul, right? It's completely merged with your soul. That's the only way to stop the suffering, is go inside. And then what happens, it triggers this runner because you're connected. So their life starts falling apart, right? And the only way they find peace is to come back to you. The tower moments keep pounding them, pounding that ego to humiliate the ego, basically, like beat that ego down with a club but through life, right? And anxiety and depression and insomnia, all of that the only way that they're going to find peace is to come back to the chaser. And the only way the chaser finds peace is if they go inside. So do you see how the chaser's kind of in charge? And you don't really hear about that in out there in the internet. So I just felt called. It's like, okay, I want to start doing a little reading for the twin flames, or mirror souls, you can call them too. Okay. So just keep in mind, I'm doing a full-on 6-hour, probably more than 6-hour webinar series, and that's August 17th to the 24th. And so that you can prepare yourself too for the twin flame, and maybe have a knowingness that your twin flame's coming, right? It's all about doing your inner work, Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick card reading for them. Okay, and where's my overlays? And then we'll get into the types. There we go. Okay, the twin flames. And the beauty is I actually did some cards for them already, so we can go right into it. And so this is what both of them are working on. So they're going to be working on them in different ways, right? So if you don't have your twin flame, like, use this for your relationship that you're in, right? This is the time to reflect, so you can use these dynamics. So I did my prayer and then picked a card, or the divine picked a card, and the ego that the twin flames are working on is worth. Okay, self-worth is what they're working on. Right? So this is, so worthlessness. So how the chaser is going to feel this is feeling, well, I'm not worthy because I got rejected, right? I got rejected by that other person. You could look at it like this, but let's look at the runner. The runner, it's going to happen like money. They're going to be fixated on money. So if they've been attached, because remember, the runner is attached to the Maya, and that means they're attached to the mind. And again, if you look at the architecture of the mind, what I'm doing with the Soul Purpose Online Retreat, there's certain numbers. It depends on your unique chart, but they can be so identified, depending on their mind, that they actually become the Maya. They're a part of the Maya, right? So that's how it's really, really challenging to disidentify with the mind, disidentify with the Maya. So what is the divine going to do? Come in. What do you think the divine's going to do in that situation if you're overly identified with money? Well, the divine's going to take away the money, right? Take away the money, and what comes up, the truth for the runner, right? What comes up is self-worth issues. That's what will come up, right? Self-worth issues. Self-worth issues that the money has been covering, right? So all the old tricks of the ego won't work anymore, right? No matter how much you try, the money will just disappear, because this is the real healing, is self-worth. The runner can also look at the chaser and say, well, I'm not worthy of all that love. Oh my God, the chaser loves me so much, and they're such a good person, and right? This beautiful person, that's what they see in the chaser. I'm not worthy of that kind of love. Again, more self-worth issues come up to be cleared, right? To be transmuted and cleared. So this is about not getting your value from money and the material. Well, I'm only of value if I got to earn my love, right? I've got to earn that love. I'm not good enough, right? Those kinds of thoughts can come up. I've got to work hard, right? So remember that the runner has got these belief systems that they have to let go of from their ancestors, right? Money. Work means effort, right? Work means drudgery, those kinds of things, right? this will bring it up. So you've got to look at your life, if you're a runner watching this, that everything's perfect. Everything that's happening to you right now is perfect, right? So if something's not coming to you, it's not supposed to come to you because of the those deeper patterns of samskaras. Maybe you've had this samskara following you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Like, I'm not worthy. I've got no worth. This is the generator MG. I'm just a slave, right? I'm just a slave. I've got no choice. I just take the crumbs that come at me. And maybe look at your relationships, right? Where I'm dependent on another person for my money and my livelihood. And that also can be samskaras. I can't take care of myself in this lifetime. Things like that, right? So this could be a dormant samskara that's coming up, right, for the runner. And maybe you're experiencing this too as a chaser, but you're going to be more in touch with this, right, with these feelings, because you're more in touch with your emotions than the runner, right, of this self-worth. So the medicine here is you've got the no joke, this is what got picked, right, is the Ace of Pentacles and then the Page of Pentacles. So this is the divine. The divine is giving gifts to the twin flames right now. And this is the Ace of Pentacles. And then the Page of Pentacles. So opportunities for this new moon. Ace and Page. This is new opportunities. So to watch for those, because remember what you're doing is you're paying attention. And you've got to know your self-worth. Chaser has to know your self-worth, right? You have to know your self-worth. And maybe you got batted around through this journey around this, right? Around self-worth issues. You got to know that you're all that in a bag of chips, you know? You got to really, know your worth on this planet. You've done a lot of hard work to get to this place, right? To get to here. So that's what I would say, and to know that that your inner resources, right? That's really your worth, is your inner resources. And now it's time to come out of hiding, right? So look for the chasers is to go inside and go into that retreat space and then dig out these patterns, these old patterns that have been following you lifetime after lifetime, and just let them go, right? Let them go. Okay. So that's what I got for you.